The next part we're going to create is the locking shaft, and that's a tube brought in from the content center, and we're going to cut a thread on there just like we did with the locking collar, and we'll put a rebate as well. So what we need to do is place from content center, and we're going to use round tubes, and the one that works for us is CSN 425715. So left click that and click OK. Now our nominal size we're going to use is 35mm, and our wall thickness is 5mm, and our bar length is 150mm. So select all those and hit apply, and we're going to call that locking shaft. I'm up to version 6. Okay, again I'm going to pan that across so we've got some space to work. I'm going to left click to place it and press escape. Okay, now we want to modify this part, so I'll hover over it, double left click. So now we're actually working in the part, and the first thing we want to do is skim its diameter down to 33mm to take out 33 by 3.5 thread. So right click, create a new sketch on the round end. We're going to project the geometry of the round end. We're going to right click and create a center point circle. Drag that out, left click, right click, general dimension, click on the circle, left click, and click it again and make that 33. Tick that, and then we can finish the sketch. Now we're going to extrude, so that's a right click, extrude, going to select just the edge profile, and then we can drag our direction arrow back that way, which automatically makes a cut. Select distance, all, and click OK. That will slice that down to a diameter of 33. The next step we want to do is select our origin and open that, and turn on our YZ plane. So right click, turn the visibility on, and then we're going to pan around and create a new sketch on that plane. So right click, new sketch on that plane. We're going to right click and use our slice graphics so we can see what we're doing. Just press escape. Now we can project our geometry. Now the geometry that we want to use is the top edge, the inside edges, and the outside edges of the tube. Next line that we need to create is the axis line to revolve. So right click, create line, and just place that on our axis line. We can dimension that straight away. So we're going to dimension from the inside edge to the inside edge, and accept the driven dimension, and then dimension from the inside edge to the axis, and we're going to dimension that as a function, so it's 25 divided by 2. Tick that one, so that will always remain the same. Then we're going to create our thread profile, so right click with a 2-point rectangle, and just drag that out, press escape, right click, general dimension, and that box we want to be 3.5 high, and 3.5 wide. So click on that dimension to select it. Now we can draw the thread profile, so we use our line tool, and that will automatically snap to the center. Press escape, and we want to add a dimension from the axis to that edge. Will be 33 divided by 2. That pulls it in a line for us. You can also dimension from the bottom edge of the thread profile to the top. Let's just make that 3.5. Okay, now we can finish that sketch. And we can use that thread profile to create a coil. So we're going to select these elements and our axis in the center, and we can have a look at it and make sure it's a right hand thread, and we also want to flip it over so it cuts into the body. You can see that that's a right hand thread. We want to set our coil size. We want to select cut first, then coil size, and we're using pitch and height. So our pitch is 3.5 millimeters, and our height we will cut 70 millimeters. And click OK. And you can see that that's cut a thread profile for us on that part. Now we want to go in and create a rebate just for the bottom edge of the thread. So to do that, we're going to create a new sketch, and again it's going to be on the YZ plane, and I'm just going to rotate that over so we can see it easily. We're going to right click and slice our graphics so you can see what we're doing, and we're going to project the geometry of the inside edge, the outside edge, and we're going to create a rectangle, and we can snap it to, actually let's just project the geometry at the bottom of there, that point. There we go, and we'll create a rectangle from that point. Now, in that sort of area, doesn't really matter, it's just going to be a cut. We can dimension that. We'll make that one 4 millimeters. We can dimension this one as 5 millimeters, and then we need to go in and add our axis line. So we'll zoom out a little, right click, create a line for our axis, press escape, and then finish sketch. Now if we use our revolve tool, we'll be able to select the profile that we just created, which is there. We'll be able to select the axis that we've created, which is there, and we can also select a cut and click OK, and that will rotate a cut for us. You can see we've got a nice rebate for the back of our thread. Now is probably also a good time to go in and put a chamfer on the bottom edge of this tube. So if we left click on there, we can leave it at 2 millimeters and tick that. Okay, there's our locking shaft created.